Hi everyone.
Hi everyone.
I hope you can hear me.
Hi everyone. I hope you can hear me.
I'm here live in San Francisco. And I'm going to get started here by saging my space with some my sage bundle here and just kind of clearing the energy, just to give people a few more minutes in case anybody's running late. So go ahead and get yourself settled in your sacred space. Get whatever supplies you want to have with you ready to go. And then I'm going to walk us through just a brief meditation before we get started and make sure everybody's feeling really grounded and connected. I'm so excited to be here with you. I hope you're excited too. We're going to have a really good time tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and smudge. Feel free to smudge where you are too if that feels right to you. And then I'll be back with you in just a minute or two. Okay, so our space is cleared. We're ready to get started. I just want to explain a little bit about what we're going to do tonight in the next 55 minutes that we have together. This is a live moon ritual, a moon circle. And so I'm assuming some of you have had an experience like this before and some of you haven't. So I want to kind of tell you how I do this. Everyone who does moon ceremony does it slightly differently, and so I'll kind of outline my process for you and tell you how we're going to spend our time together. When I do any kind of ritual, there's always 5 steps. The first step is to open what we call a sacred circle. And when you have a group of people together in a room holding hands, you do that in a physical way. You literally hold hands and send your energy around the circle, and that's how you create a physical circle. We're doing it here together energetically, and so I'm going to do it with you through visualization, and I'll tell you how that works. The second step in our process is that we're going to raise energy together, and we do that again through visualization, and that's where we're going to do a bit of our work with our candle using our oil. Hopefully you have an oil with you. We're also going to do some work with our gemstones, and by raising that energy, that's how we're going to seal your intentions. And so for those of you who have been asking what to bring with you tonight, the only things you really need, you do need a candle. Doesn't matter if it's blue or whatever color candle it is. I like having a blue candle for the blue moon, but whatever you have is fine. You do need some gemstones because we're going to be infusing the gemstones that you have with the energy of this blue moon. So make sure you have a couple of gems. If you want to work with your candle and anoint your candle, which I'm going to do myself, then you should have an oil with you on your altar space. And then if you wrote down your intentions, I think that's great. You can have them with you just in your mind, but I like to work with a number 3. So, tonight's blue moon is all about new beginnings and setting intentions for your new beginnings and what you want to create, what you want to put energy toward. There is a ton of energy in what we call the field tonight to work with. And the fact that there are as many as 200 people joining me for this experience, there's a lot of energy just being focused on this particular experience. So I want to use that energy toward a particular purpose, which is the 3rd step in any ritual process called doing the energy work. It's all that energy that we raise and that we develop together in this circle space, and then we put it to work and use that energy toward our purposes. Then when we're done, we ground out the energy. Energy like we're creating tonight vibrates at a high level. And so you don't want to just kind of leave the room or leave the space with all of that energy buzzing and vibrating around. And so I literally will ground out our energy during this experience together. I'm going to ask you to do the same thing. And there's ways we can do that with stones or just with visualization again. And then the final step, the fifth step, is that we'll close our circle. And that allows the energy that we've created to be, infused into the stones, to be released from this experience. Some people say after a sacred circle experience that they feel like they have a bit of a buzz. That's a very common experience, and so you might feel slightly more energized tonight after this experience than you typically do on a Friday night at 7 p.m. or whatever time it is in your zone. So hopefully that helps. I do want you to notice that there's a chat feature here, so as you write comments, I can see them, and I will take time at the end of the circle to do a bit of Q&A. If you have questions for me or about the experience, would love to answer those for you. So I'm going to tell you just a little bit about myself, take 2 minutes to do that, and then I'm going to welcome you more formally and tell you a bit about who's joining us tonight, because it's a really special group of people. My name is Athena, and some of you probably know me as the Sage Goddess. This is really my soul work to bring ritual to people around the world free of cost. It's one of the things that I believe I was put on this planet to do. And so having this experience with you tonight is really a dream come true, because I believe in magic, and I believe that there is abundant energy in the universe to help support our goals and our desires and our wishes. I think people who live full lives do so because they set wise intentions, and they put a lot of energy and hard work and thought and love toward those intentions, and that's why and how they manifest. And so I want to help you do that. I think there are very specific tools and techniques that you can use to help fuel your intentions and really make them a reality. Just the fact that we're having this conversation tonight is the manifestation of one of my intentions about a year ago, in fact. So I really do believe this process works, and I'm just beyond excited to share it with you tonight. So there are lots of people engaged in this experience tonight. One small group of them is a group that's participating in a class that I'm teaching for the next 8 weeks called the Magical Sabbatical. And that's a group of 50 women who have gathered to circle with me starting tonight. Tonight is kind of our opening ceremony, and then extending for the next 8 weeks, where we're going to be meeting every other week to do ritual and ceremonial work together. And so I want to welcome my sabbatical sisters in particular, but I also want to welcome everyone who's on the line, because this is an open, public ritual, and like I said, it really is part of my soul work and my soul purpose to help people celebrate life. I truly, truly believe in my heart that we go through life and we're absent a lot of meaning. And people are hungry, people are thirsty for meaning and significance and purpose. And so what I want to show you, even through these little humble ritual experiences, is that everything is sacred. Every full moon, every new moon, every meal that you eat, every conversation that you have in your life can be a sacred experience. And so all ritual is really, it's not, to me, it's not even a religious or a spiritual matter per se. It's a matter of taking time out to create special spaces in your life. And I think it's really important. I think it makes the difference in how you feel about your life and your world. So I hope you'll enjoy this with me tonight. My plan is to do this once a month and to continue to make it free and available to people in all time zones from all walks of life and all parts of the country and the world. It's a pleasure. It really is a divine honor to do that for you. Okay, so what's a blue moon? A blue moon, some people say it's as simple as the second full moon in any calendar month. I think blue moons are really special. There's a reason they say once in a blue moon, that saying that you've probably heard many times before. It's a rare thing. The next blue moon isn't going to be until 2015. And so There are many traditions, if you do a little digging into history, many earth-based traditions, pagan traditions, but also non-pagan traditions recognize the blue moon as a special time. If you go back in recorded history, in times where people really live their lives according to moon cycles, the second full moon in 1 month was considered a very sacred event. It was considered a message from the universe of abundance and just opportunity, a time to give thanks for what you have, but also to really make a wish for what you'd like to have. And so that's what the blue moon is to me. It's a new beginning. It's a chance to think about what you want to create and bring into the world. And so those are your 3 new and wonderful intentions that I hope that you've brought with you that I'm going to help you activate tonight. Okay, before we begin, before I open the circle, which is somewhat of a formal process, I do want to just ask one thing, which is the energy that you bring into this space that we're in together. This experience is really, really important. I assume that everybody coming into the experience is coming with their highest energetic vibration, the intention that it's going to be the most positive, beautiful experience for everyone involved. And so I'm holding that intention, but you need to also check in with yourself and make sure that that's the vibration and the intention that you're coming with too. The energy that we raise as a collective group tonight is only as strong and as positive and as fruitful as every single one of us and what we're bringing. So I just want to say that only positive energy is allowed, and then that's the assumption that I'm working from. So I'm going to go ahead and open the circle. When I do this with you, and again, I'm going to do it for us as a group, and then I'm going to ask that you do a visualization on your own separately. When I open the circle, it joins us on the energetic level. I'd like to ask that you stay with me for the duration of the experience until I close the circle at the end, which will be about half an hour, 35 minutes from now. The reason is, when you open a sacred circle in ritual, it creates a container, a vessel for the energy that we're creating to be held in. And when someone leaves the circle, even though I can't see you and we're not really physically connected in the same space, it does have an impact. It sort of jars the energy container. So hopefully you're in a place where you're comfortable. If you need to have food or drink, I have water. Have what you need for the next half hour so you can stay with me in the sacred space. And I have a little giveaway at the end. I have a little piece of moonstone here that I'm keeping on my altar space. And so at the end, I will, hopefully if there are those of you who are engaging in chat and I can see your comments, I'll be able to choose one of you to give the gemstone away to. Okay, so I'm going to open the circle. And what I'm going to do is that you ask that you sit somewhere either on the floor, carpet, wherever you are, in a comfortable chair. We're going to do a couple of rounds of visualization tonight together, but I'm going to ask that you put your hands on your knees, sit up nice and straight with your palms up, and just take a couple of good deep breaths with me. Breath really connects people and aligns them. If you've done a reading with me before, you know that I always start that way. I always connect us at the level of breath, because it is the most fundamental part of our human existence, and so connecting together at breath is a sacred experience. So what I'm going to ask you to do is close your eyes, and I want you to visualize around yourself wherever you are right now. And I know that we are all over the world. I know people are joining me at 3 and 4 in the morning from all different parts of the world. I'm so grateful to have you here. I want you to visualize just a white circle of light around you. And think of it as being around 3 or 4 feet in diameter. And just imagine that it's literally just surrounding you and it's glowing. Just this white circle of light. And imagine that it's 3-dimensional. It's not just a line around you. It's actually a 3-dimensional beam of light wrapping itself around you. And that if you could reach out and touch this beam of light, that it would actually feel warm to your hands. So let it have a tactile presence for you as you imagine it wrapped around your body where you are. And what I'm going to do is just take a minute here to imagine that that same beam of light that's wrapped around you individually where you are is also wrapped around all of us, the collective. However many people are on the call right now, it could be as many as 250 people, that all of us collectively have that same beam of light wrapped around us. Just imagining that. So that's the beam of light that's connecting us around the world right now. It's the same beam of light that you see sometimes when you look up at a full moon and you see the just that round glow of light around the moon, that perfect circle of light. Imagine that it's just wrapped around us, and that's the circle that's containing this energy of this experience tonight. So hopefully you felt a little bit of a warm rush or glow from imagining that light that connects us. It really does connect us. And that's a very valuable meditation that you can do anytime, really, if you're feeling stressed out at work or at home with your kids. If you can just kind of pull in and imagine that white circle of light around you, it really does connect you to your essence, and it connects you to the energy of those around you too. Okay, what I want to do now that our circle is open, I'm going to do something that we call, in ritual practice, calling the elements. It's also called calling the corners, calling the quarters. You might hear this referred to with many different names. I actually have one that I've written myself that I'm going to read for you. And every time I've ever done Moon Circle in my life, my ritual life, which is several decades now, I have read this same invocation. So if you've done this with me before, this is not unfamiliar to you. And then we're going to anoint our candle. And if you haven't lit your candle yet, I will light my candle with you in just a minute. So let's turn to the east first. That's the first corner or quarter or element we're going to call to. I call to the elements of the east, to air, to white clouds wandering across a pale blue-violet sky, and to the air that lifts them, to the breeze that blows across my face and warm summer currents that bring scents of sea and sand, to whispers of dawn and ancient voices speaking to me in familiar tongues, to the chilly blast of winter's breath and hurricanes that destroy so that we can recreate, to the currents that support the wings of the seagull, to the winds of my dreams and yours, carrying our hopes for tomorrow, to the storms of my heart that are violent and tempestuous, to warm desert gusts where lightning strikes and thunder rumbles. Be here with us tonight, elements of the east, and let the power of your gentle force fill our lungs, open our minds, and lift our spirits. And so it is. And by the way, the elements of the east, whenever we call to the east, those are the signs of Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. So if those are your sun signs, you might feel just a special connection to the east, because the east, each of the quarters or corners has the zodiac correspondences as well. So I was speaking to you, Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. So now I'm going to call to the south. We're moving around the wheel now to the south. My call to the elements of the south. This is for you, Aries and Leo and Sagittarius. I'm a Leo, so this is my fire element. I call to fire. I call to the dry heat of the desert that burns under a flaming orange sun. I call to the courage of the lion, whose red mane dances in golden majesty about his face. I call to the energy that burns within me and burns within you, to the sparkles of fairy magic and the glow of citrine stones, the flickering of the candle as it burns, to the lava flowing from wild and untamed volcanoes that are native and free, to the bonfire around which we all gather, hold hands, vision quest together, to the warmth of unconditional love that we offer each other in this space. To the sage I burn, to clear, to clean, and to consecrate. Be here with us tonight, elements of fire. Let the power of your mighty force warm our hearts, release our fears, and destroy our resistance to growth. And so it is. So now I'm moving to the west. I'm here in the west. I'm in San Francisco. I'm right near the water. So I'm calling out to the water signs. That would be you, Pisces and Scorpio and Cancer. I call to water. I call to the deep blue-green waves that rush the shoreline. To the dolphin who weaves in and out of the purple sea, daring to explore the deepest waters without fear. To the mermaid who's bound to the depths, she personifies flow and grace. She meets the awesome power of currents that carry her forward. She spirals and dances and gasps. She looks to the future I dare to meet. To the raging river running wild like my heart. To the azure lake where children run at the water's edge. To the rain in which we dance together, fearless, letting go. To destiny as we gaze out over endless seas that divide and connect us. Be here with us tonight, element of water, and let the power of your graceful force wash us clean and teach us how to swim with the tide rather than resist its pull. It's a good lesson for all of us, isn't it? We're all trying to resist the pull, and we need to go with the tide. And finally, I'm going to call to the north. Elements of the north, these are my Virgos, my Capricorns, my Taurus, the grounding zodiac signs. We need you, especially us fire signs. We need our earth signs. So I call to earth, to the fields of winter grasses and deep woods that are blanketed in moss, to the dry leaves of summers that have passed that signal autumn and cold nights, to the mysteries and the secrets held by the jeweled tapestry of black tree limbs in the night sky, to the silent trail of a stag as it weaves its way through the dark of the forest, to Gaia, our great mother, who holds us in her bountiful embrace, to the fruit on all of her trees, the nourishment of her plants, the blessing of her sacred herbs, to sand, soil, salt, and spice, to rock and mountain, where we climb to remind ourselves of our own potential, to vistas that are far and wide, landscapes that are green and brown, arid, tropic beauty. Be here with us tonight, powers of earth, and let the power of your grounding forces call us into present time. Remind us of the gift of silence and our connection to land, so that we can put our feet on the ground, hold hands with each other, and remind ourselves of our connections to all forms of life. May the delicate and precious balance of these four elements be with you always and make itself known to you. I hope you enjoyed that elemental calling. So what I'm going to do now is ask you to take a little bit of your oil. And as we do this anointing of our candle, I really want you to begin the work now of thinking about your intentions that you have set. I'm taking just a little bit on my finger. I always use the index finger of my dominant hand, my writing hand, to anoint my candle. So if you're left-handed, that will be your other hand. Just a drop or two. Bring your candle to you. If it's already lit, do this very, very gently. And what I do is I just take my tip of my finger and I'm going to touch the four directions on my candle, holding my intentions, and I want you to hold your intentions right in your mind as you're doing this. So to the north, which is the top part of your candle, I'm just touching the side to the north, and then down to the south, to the east, and to the west. This is how we anoint a candle. Some people like to pour their oil on a candle, but I find that it makes just a big mess, so I don't anoint my candles that way. I just touch the four elements, the four corners, north, south, east, and west. And if you want, you can touch the very top of your candle, the wick, and that represents the element of spirit, which if you've ever seen a pentacle, there are 5 points in a pentacle, and that represents the four elements plus spirit. So your candle is anointed. I'm going to rub your oil into your hands. Part of my favorite parts of ritual is the oil and the anointing process. And if you're ready, go ahead and light your candle with me if you haven't already. And I'm going to ask you to keep your candle lit until we close the circle. Okay. What's fun is I think a lot of us have the same candle. I made this blue moon candle that many of you, I know, purchased as part of the set for this event. So it's kind of neat to think that we all have the same illumination sitting in front of us. But like I said, when it comes to ritual, size doesn't matter, color of candle doesn't matter. People will tell you it does. What matters is that the things that you have in front of you and around you have personal meaning for you. This is your sacred space. The entire process of ritual is meant to reconnect you with a very subconscious part of yourself. You can call it the divine, your goddess self, your God self, whatever you want to, call that part of yourself if you're male or female. But it's really who you are at your most core, really the essence of who you are. So that part of you doesn't really care what color the candle is. It cares that you're creating this sacred space and asking for divine guidance as you set intentions and really speak to and develop your own purpose in your life. That's what we're here for. Okay, so what we're going to do now is the work around your intention setting. So if you have your stones, I'm going to ask you to get those stones out. And I wrote a special blessing for your stones, just for the blue moon. Some of you have this blessing that came with the blue moon gems, but if you don't have it, I'm going to read it for you now, so you don't need it. But I'm going to ask that you take your gems and that you put them in your non-dominant hand. So for me, that's going to be my left hand. And these are the stones that are going to hold your purpose, your intentions, your 3 things you want to begin anew tonight. So make sure that you're choosing the ones that you want to take with you on this journey. Once you set your intentions tonight with us in the circle, those are going to be infused into these gems. They're going to hold that space for you. So wherever you take these, keep them in meditation. Some people sleep with their stones after they've done the kind of work that we're doing tonight. I do that. I'll keep 1 or 2 in my pillowcase. It's a great way to look for guidance in dream state. I usually will take 1 and keep it in my purse. I'll take another and keep it on my desk. They're just touchstones and reminders because they've been infused with the energy of the experience that we're having together. So it's very special what we're doing and the energy that we're putting into the stones. And I want you to imagine right now, not just you yourself holding your stones, but the many, many people who are on the line or on this call watching me right now and enjoying your energy too, and that you're also holding the space and the intention for their new beginnings as well, because all of the energy that we are raising together is a collective. It really isn't for one person or another person, it's for all of us. And so I personally feel like I'm holding the intentions tonight for dozens and dozens and dozens of people, which is a true honor for me. But you are as well. I'm just the person here who's talking, but you're doing the energy work right alongside me. So what I'm going to do is ask you to hold your stones now in your non-dominant hand. Close your hand around them if you can. If you want to put your other hand on top, that's fine. And I want you to close your eyes. I'm going to ask that you, as I read this stone blessing and this invocation for new beginnings, I'm going to ask that you truly begin to visualize in your mind what it will look like for this new beginning that you are desiring to come into being now, as if it's already happening today. I know a lot of people think about new beginnings as some future-oriented thing. That's not how energy works. Energy works almost in fast forward. And so when you set an intention, events start to unfold and take shape, and the universe starts to put people and things into place to support you, and it begins instantly. This process actually began earlier today or last week or whenever you started gathering your stones. I mean, truly, that's the way energy functions. It's not linear. We think it is. You were waiting for 6 p.m. for this experience to start. Your stones and the universe and energy doesn't wait. It just looks for you to begin to manifest intentions. Okay, so hold your stones, and as I'm talking, just get very centered, very still. Again, if you want to just really sit up straight, hold them, close your eyes, listen to my voice, and I want you to imagine, again, your new beginning as if it's already in progress and already happening. By the light of this blue moon, I claim a new beginning, a full renewal and a fresh start. I charge these gems to hold the space for my intention, that I can let go of what doesn't serve me, that I can make peace with what is no longer, that I can be gentle with myself in all ways, that I can create divine flow through open giving, that I can receive abundantly in a state of gratitude, that I can step into my full potential and live on purpose. Now, here, today, in this moment, I step forward as if stepping backward ever again is not an option. And so it is. So you're welcome to keep your stones in your hand if you'd like. If you would like to sit them back on your altar space, you can. Mine feel very comfy in my hand right now, so I'm just going to keep them right here. And I'm just as excited as you are. I have not worked with these stones before. I chose them specifically for the blue moon. They're holding my intentions for my new beginnings. I would love to know if anybody wants to jump on chat and add a comment. I would love to know what your new beginning is. If you choose to share one with us here live, I would love to read it out loud so that the group can help support you and affirm the intention that you're setting. So please feel free and welcome to jump in and comment and add your intention so that I can read it out loud for you. Okay, so I'm seeing a few of your intentions coming through, and I'm going to read them out loud. I'm hoping to keep up with the flow. I'm so excited to be here with you guys. I have to tell you, as these intentions come pouring in, I hope you can feel the energy that's being raised here. For me, this is such a treat because it's an incredible amount of energy that we're putting together for each other. It's just a lovely thing to witness. So I have Beth Lampy, who's here. She's setting the intention for abundance for her family. I have Luz, who's here. Just happy to be here. I see that. Business success for Angela. That's a great new beginning and intention to set. For Roxanne, it is dissertation completion, and she is shouting it to the universe. She is going to complete her dissertation and become a doctor. For Karen, it's love of self. For Katie, it's co-creative painting with her source on a daily basis. What a beautiful intention to set, Katie. For Amanda, truly seeking self, embracing her, allowing her to be free and fully expressed. For Lenora, hi Lenora, it's publishing her first book of fiction in 2013. That's awesome. For Ruby Red Dragonfly, beholding all my endeavors through the eyes of a mother and celebrating them for the divine creations that they are. How beautiful that is. Angela, releasing resentment. Nicole says, love you, Lindsay. That's awesome. Laura, putting herself out there for new friendships. Michelle, letting go of blocks. Angela, perfect partner. Zally, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Her intention is to step forward, get rid of negativity, heal herself. Danette, opening herself to motherhood. Kate is saving her store and her business, and we are right there with you, Kate. You've got the sisterhood behind you for that one. Linda, releasing negativity. Luz is connecting with the universe. Jackie, true love. Oh, we hope that for you, Jackie. Megan is intending to heal all aspects of her life so that she can live authentically and fully. And I see with loving, gentle kindness, I believe. Roxanne's becoming a life coach. How awesome is that? Wanda was living a good life. Angie is opening to divine purpose. Oh, and so on and so forth. How beautiful. And Lenora, self-love. Susan, boldly asking for what I need. We need to do that. Let's boldly ask for what we need. That's awesome. Kathy, Kurt and Kathy from Ohio, we're being moved and just got the call today, so we're setting good intentions for a beautiful move for you. Amy, finding my soulmate. Raven Tree, stepping into my power, getting my business up and running. Kristen is letting go of anger and opening herself up to love. Some of these just take my breath away. Letting kindness radiate through me and to me from Jane. We want to hold that intention with you as well. So keep it coming. One of you is going to get an awesome piece of moonstone. I chose this one. I think it's so incredibly beautiful. Moonstone is one of my favorites. I'm also wearing a labradorite ring, which is a dark version of moonstone, but I love it so much. So I just wanted to send a piece to one of you and thought it was cool. It'll be here through the whole experience with all that good energy attached to it. So they continue to pour through, which I'm loving. So let me do this. I want to do another guided meditation with you. And this is to help you seal the intention for yourself personally, but again, it's to raise the vibration and keep the energy moving in the group. We have another 10, 15 minutes or so before I'm going to close out the circle. So this particular meditation that I'm going to take you through, and I'm going to shift my seating position here. Hopefully you can still see me so that I can sit down. Much more comfortable. Okay. This particular meditation that I'm going to take us through is to help you encounter a guide. It's my favorite meditation. Again, some of you who used to do moon circles with me live have done this meditation and have asked me, actually a couple of you, to do it tonight. So it's by special request that I'm doing this one for you. I'm going to take you on a walk with me, and in just a minute I'm going to have you close your eyes and imagine that we are taking a walk together through a beautiful meadow with just rolling hills, warm sunshine, views for as far as the eye can see. And so I want you to really get into a very relaxed state. Again, if you can sit on the floor, in a comfortable chair, just somewhere where you can really feel the earth underneath you. So take just a minute to get in a very comfortable space, and then I'll take you on a brief journey to meet your guide. Okay, are you ready? Here we go. So I'm going to have you take 3 very deep breaths with me before we begin the walk together. So go ahead and close your eyes now, and we're just going to take 3 deep breaths right up through your diaphragm, and then when you exhale, it should be an audible exhale. That's how you know you're breathing deeply enough to be able to get into a meditative state. So do the inhale with me, and exhale, and inhale, and exhale, and inhale, and exhale, So we're walking together, and what I want you to imagine is that, again, if you could see the view that's out ahead of you, it's rolling hills for as far as the eye can see, and it's warm outside. I would say it's probably sunset time or dusk. And I'm standing next to you, I'm holding your hand, and we're walking. We're not talking to each other, but we're just walking. It's a dust path or a dirt path that we're walking along together. And it's quiet. You could almost just hear the wind coming through the few trees that are around and moving leaves on the ground. It's very quiet and peaceful, and we're just taking a walk together as we move down this path together. You can feel my hand, the warmth of my hand. And you have nowhere to be. This is where you're supposed to be with me. You have nowhere to go, nowhere to be. Time doesn't matter. We're just relaxing together. And as we're walking, you look up ahead, and where at first you didn't see anything or anyone, now you can see a person up ahead. They're in the distance, maybe about 100, 150 feet ahead of us. And you're not wondering where that person came from. It seems natural now that they're standing there. And you can tell it's someone who you know. It doesn't seem like a stranger. I want you to begin, as we move closer and closer, we're walking more and more toward this person. I want you to be able to begin to make out what this person looks like. This person who's standing ahead of us as we walk toward him or toward her. And try to see now, is this a man or a woman who's standing ahead of us? Start to notice arms and legs, clothing, face, hair. You should be able to make out whether it's a man or a woman in the distance as we get closer. And this person is happy to see you. This person has been waiting for you to come and see him or her. And as we continue to walk, you're seeing more and more detail, and you're able to really make out male, female, who this person might be. It might be someone you know, it may be someone that you don't know, but you trust, you have this feeling that it's someone that you're meant to see and someone who's very excited and happy to see you too. So as we get closer to this person, you can tell by the expression on their face that they're, as I said, just delighted to see you. They've been waiting to see you. And as we get closer, I begin to release your hand, and they begin to stretch their hand out toward you to greet you. And this person is a guide for you. This person is someone who's come to meet you in this moment right now, in this experience, because they have a message for you. They have a message for you about how to create the vision that you're holding and how to manifest the intention that you're setting in your life. It's no accident that you are having this experience with me tonight. It's no accident that you and I are walking down this path in this meditation. And it's no accident that you're meeting this guide on your path. So this person has reached out their hand, and you've taken this person's hand. And now you're beginning to walk with this person. And you're walking away from me. I'm standing behind you, and I have released you to continue your walk with your guide. And your guide is so ready to talk with you, so ready to share this message, and all you have to do is ask. And so what I'm going to do for the next 2 minutes is I'm going to be silent on this call, and I'm going to ask that you now dialogue with this person who's come and taken your hand. And you can ask them for the message, you can ask them for a sign. It could come as a visual in your mind in the meditation. Ask for the message from your guide and see what comes to you for the next 2 minutes. So I want you to take just a moment and really give thanks to your guide for coming to you this evening, this morning, whatever time it is where you are. Give thanks for the message that was given, the sign that was given to you. It's a gift. Our guides come to help us when we need them. Always know that your guides are available to you. This kind of meditation you can do anytime, anywhere. So you can always return to this space and ask for information, guidance, signs when you're at important junctures like this in your life and making big changes and transitions as you are right now. So give thanks and let your guide bid farewell to you. He or she will turn now and walk down the rest of the path that you had begun together, and I'm going to ask that you turn around and begin to walk back to me. I've been waiting for you while you went on your journey with your guide. So walk back the way you came, down the dust path. You can feel the leaves and the soil under your feet as you walk. And just be in that state of gratitude for whatever information, even if it was a very small piece of information or might not seem significant now, just sit in that place of gratitude for what was given to you. It may also come to you tonight in dream state. That often happens, that meditation extends into dream state, so you'll want to keep special note of your dreams tonight too. And continue to walk back down the path. You should see me waiting for you up ahead. Just extending a hand, ready to take your hand and continue to walk the path with you. And as you come closer to me, my hand is outstretched and you take my hand, I want you to begin to come back into present time. And whenever you're ready, just begin to close your eyes, feel your hands and your feet so that you can come back into present space and release the meditation. And if you want to take a minute or two to make a note in your journal, if you have your journal close by, so a lot of you keep it near your altar space, I know. If you want to write something down from that experience, you're more than welcome to take the time now and do that. But I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that was a restful and peaceful and also really helpful experience for you. A lot of the work that we do with gems and crystals also involves meditation. And what you can also do if you choose is take the gems that we are charging up tonight with all these intentions and, like I said, put them in your pillowcase. You can take them into dream state with you. You can hold them with you during meditation. Some people, when they're doing a new beginning or a new set of transitions like you're doing right now, like we're doing, will set a period for 60 days, like my sabbatical group is doing. And so they will do a meditation, say at 4 p.m. or 6 p.m. every day for those 60 days with the gems, with the guide. And they have told me that they found that very, very helpful, just that there's a regular meditative and spiritual practice that they commit to for a defined period of time. And that at the end of those 60 days, they have greater clarity around their purpose and have also really reconnected to their own spirituality. So you might think about doing something like that for yourself. Okay, well, I hope you're feeling good. We're actually almost at the end of our time together. One thing I was going to tell you, according to most spiritual traditions, when you're in a sacred circle together, and whether it's in person or virtual like this, and I don't know about you, but I think this is incredible that we can do this, that we can all be together virtually across the world at the same time together having a spiritual experience is fantastic. I'm just in awe of technology that way. But most people will tell you that when you create the container of a sacred space or a sacred circle like this, it exists outside of space and time. And so what you might notice is that time goes by very, very slowly, or in most cases, time goes by very quickly. And that's just because, again, we are linear, rational beings having a spiritual experience, and we don't really know how to account for the way time passes outside of our linear human experience. But oftentimes in circle, I have noticed that I will feel like I blinked and an hour went by. So I hope it went by quickly for you. I hope you've enjoyed it. As I said, it is my intention to do this once a month in the same exact format. And the next one is going to be September 22nd for the fall equinox. And so I'll be sending out same kind of invitation, same kind of experience. I have a special little set that I've made too if you want your candle and so forth for that. But it'll be the same thing where we just come together and we do some symbolic work around the fall equinox, which is honestly one of my favorite days of the entire year. So I'm really excited about that. So I'm going to do a quick root chakra exercise with you because we're going to begin to ground the energy now that we've raised. Keep your gemstones close by. They have been infused with the energies of this experience. And so hopefully, like I said, that's just a huge blessing to you, and that they have, if I'm sure some of you, they already had meaning to you, the stones that you have, but now they have this added kind of little energy boost of the experience that we've shared together. So what I want you to do is, again, sit up nice and straight. Really feel your tailbone connected to the earth. This is about your root chakra. When we ground energy, we do that through the root chakra into the ground. When we cast a circle or we have a sacred circle, when we open a circle, that's really around the third eye and the crown chakra. It's about energy coming into the body. Now when we begin to close the circle, we're sending that energy out and into the earth. And that's how we ground it. And again, I really want to spend this time, these few minutes, grounding you, because if I don't, what happens oftentimes, and I've been to many circles like this where they don't ground us at the end, and we end up floating around like little spirit beings for the next 24 to 48 hours. So maybe you don't want to be grounded, but I certainly do, so I can go back and play with my kids and do my job and go back to normal life after this. So I'm going to have you sit up nice and straight, hands on your knees, and I want you to visualize that root chakra, or that area right around your tailbone, just being very, very connected to the earth. And I want you to imagine that the square of or the circle, I should say, of your tailbone, that space, is beginning to grow a root or a trunk, almost as if you're a tree, and you're going to begin to expand yourself down into the earth. So I want you to imagine that root or that trunk coming out of your tailbone and down into the earth, wherever you're seated right now. Just visualize that for me, with me for a moment. And so imagine that tree or that root or that trunk, really be able to see it in your mind's eye. And I want you to take all of the energy and the focus from tonight, all of the intensity that we've been radiating together around this experience, and I want you to visualize that as just a bright white light, bright blue light, white or blue or whatever works for you. And I want you to imagine now sending that energy down, whether it's in the form of a ball or just a beam of white light. Send that energy down through that root or that trunk that you've created through your root chakra, down into the carpet that you're sitting on, or the floor that you're sitting on, down into the earth, and just send it down, down, down as far as you can imagine, down into the center of the earth. We're sending it back to source now. And hopefully you're even feeling it. Hopefully you're feeling a little less of that kind of low-level vibration that happens in a ritual circle, and now you're starting to feel, I can feel my toes a little bit more when I do these kind of root chakra visualizations, because I'm just back in my body. We all kind of leave our body for a minute when we do ritual work, so now we're getting back connected to our body, back into all of our, just into our center, our core. And really feel the muscles in your legs, feel your toes, wiggle your toes, and keep sending that energy, that white light, down into that root or that trunk. And as you're doing it, again, sit with the gratitude for what this experience has been, the energy that we have raised together as a collective with almost 200 people participating here, 200 people holding a space for you. And the love that has been sent collectively to us as a group since this invitation was sent almost a month ago now. It's a lot of love around the world. It's just a big beam of white, loving light. So let's send that down into the earth. Let it return to the earth where it can heal, and not just heal us, but heal those who are around us, those in our extended circles. Let it reach out to them. If there's someone who's not on this call or in this experience, but you wish they were, you can send this energy and this love to them. Let it, visualize them. Visualize it wrapping around them in that white circle of light as it goes back into the earth, back to source. Let it reach them as well. Let it reach the planet. Let it reach the trees and the oceans. Let it reach the land masses. Let it reach the animals on those land masses and all the people. We're returning it to its source. And that's part of our work too, is being good stewards of energy. We want to make sure that we don't just enjoy it ourselves, that we send it out and around us and also to the earth from which it comes. So with that, I'm going to actually close our circle. And so again, that is an energetic exercise. And all that it involves is that white beam of light that I had you imagine encircling yourself earlier at the very beginning of this call. I want you to imagine that that white beam of light now is opened and becomes a line. So it now is no longer in that circle shape, but it really has extended outward. And again, let that be a visual for you of connecting that energy outward into the world. It's not just in our space now. We're now sending that energy out to do work elsewhere in the world for us beyond this circle. So I hope you're feeling it grounded, connected, rested, relaxed, and just really aligned with the purpose, the intention that you're setting tonight. It's been a very powerful experience for me. I hope it has been for you too. I know we're almost at the top of the hour, but I would love to entertain questions. And so if anybody wants to put a question through to me, I would love to be able to answer those. And I just want to say thank you for this experience. I'm getting a lot of oohs and ahs, and I'm still tingling, which is good. It's an incredible experience to be in circle, so I sit with all of you and your gratitude for this experience too. I'm incredibly grateful. Okay, well, I'm getting a lot of blessings and sending those right back to you. There's a question coming from Kathy about classes online. I am teaching one right now. Technically, the registration date has closed, but we haven't begun yet. So if you are interested, please send me a message on Sage Goddess, and I'll get you the information. Somebody asked about keeping intentions on the altar space. I would actually recommend that you keep your intentions present with you on your altar space. Someone had asked me about burning the intentions or burying the intentions. I would not do that yet. I would give yourself a defined space of time, whether that's 60 days or 90 days. I would do that so that you can make sure they have a chance to manifest before you give them back to the earth in any kind of ritual or ceremonial way. So glad you loved it. Just a lot of comments about that. So I want to wish you, before we all go, I want to wish you a happy blue moon. Sending just so much love from my heart right to yours. I'm very, very, very grateful for this experience. Thank you for helping me fulfill my soul purpose. As I said, I really, in my life, want as many people as possible to experience what we just experienced together, without having to worry about paying for it or, making it expensive. It's, life is expensive. I think ritual and magic should be available to everyone wherever they are. And the gift of technology is that we can actually do that. So thank you for joining me. I'm so glad that you had a wonderful experience. And yes, I do think you should repeat your intentions out loud. I do affirmations for myself every day. It's part of my spiritual practice. I do 15 minutes a day where I connect with the divine. For me, that's, it's a critical part of my life and my human experience. And so I would read your intentions out loud. I would light your candle. If you have a candle, for me, they're going to last you for if you do a 60-day intention setting set of rituals, it'll last you the whole time. Just burn your candle 15 minutes a day and read your intentions out loud. Keep your stones with you. Scatter them like I do, one to the purse, one to the bathroom, one to the office, one under your pillow. I'll even give one to my kids and let them help me hold the energy too. Anyway, just lots of love and light to you, and I hope you'll join me. Mark your calendars for September 22nd. It is the fall equinox. It is the turning of season. It's the season of Vesta. She's the goddess of the fire, the goddess of harvest. I actually have a candle I can show you that I, in my little candle basket here. This is Vesta. Isn't she pretty? So we will have the whole ritual experience together again on September 22nd, and I will be sending out the invitation for that tomorrow. So if you love this, spread the word, tell your friends, and again, that one will be free of charge as well. I'm seeing lots of stuff about people's guides. My guide was a crone. She didn't say anything. Crones sometimes don't, Wanda. So just so you know, sometimes when crones come to us in meditation and visualization, they don't speak. It's often the maiden, the mother, who will speak, but not the crone. So look for your crone in dream state. You can ask them to speak to you, and sometimes they will. What can we learn from having a guide that's our crone self? A great deal. Let me tell you, the wise woman in all of us is a crone. I mean, truly, if we look at the three phases of the goddess, or the three faces of the goddess, the maiden and the mother are very helpful beings to us, but the crone is our wise self. And so, seeing our wise self show up as our guide, what does that tell us? Well, it tells us we're stepping into a critical phase in our spiritual development. And so you are evolving as a woman, you are evolving as a spiritual being, and then giving that crone a voice to show up and speak to you be a very powerful experience. Seeing that the guide was Hermes, well, that's a very interesting experience to have too. My guides are almost always male. They don't show up for me as gods. Lenora, you're quite lucky to have yours show up as Hermes. That's an incredibly powerful experience. But dialogue with that guide. I'm a deeply spiritually divine feminine woman, but it's interesting to me that my guides are almost always male. And so for me, it's about finding that feminine masculine balance, and what do I need to learn from that. But yes, all of the information for the September Circle will be on Facebook, and it'll be just like this. So if you enjoyed this experience, I'm sure you will enjoy that one as well. I love you all very much. Thank you for being with me for this journey, and I'll see you in September. Bright blessings.